Are you ready to witness the rise of a new global automotive powerhouse? What if we told you that Chinese electric vehicles are rapidly reshaping the future of the industry, and the country that was once known for its bicycle culture is now taking the world by storm with cutting-edge electric tech? How did China go from being a car market afterthought to dominating the EV space, leaving global giants like Tesla, Volkswagen, and BMW playing catch-up? The Shanghai Car Show in April 2025 sent a strong message to the world's car industry. China is no longer trying to catch up, it's already ahead. The massive event, which took up the space of 60 football fields, marked the start of a new age of technological progress, electric dominance, and domestic confidence. China's EV industry used to be looked down upon as copycat or inferior, but now it is faster, better designed, and more advanced than many traditional car giants. From low-cost smart cars to futuristic flying cars, China's EV makers are not only ruling their own country, but they're also changing the way cars are made around the world. At this year's Shanghai Auto Show, there were no big names like Volkswagen or GM to meet people. Instead, there were a new generation of Chinese EV makers. BYD, China's biggest car company, showed off the Denza Z, a sleek electric sports car created by Wolfgang Egger, who used to work for Lamborghini and Audi. People were also waiting in line to see Xiaomi's first electric vehicle and NIO's high-end ET9 sedan, which goes up against cars like the BMW 7 Series and Porsche Panamera. This year was different not only because of the range, but also because of the technological show. On show were cars that could charge up to 320 miles in 5 minutes, driver assistance systems called God's Eye, and entertainment systems inside the cars that were on par with home theaters. Even more interesting is that these new ideas are being sold at prices that everyone can afford. Chinese people can now buy fully equipped electric vehicles for as little as $20,000. This is an amazing deal that shocks people from other countries. This fast progress in new ideas and low prices is the result of years of careful planning and tough competition within the country. China's automakers are in a war over price and technology, moving the industry and each other very quickly. There has been a change in the balance of power around the world. China's car industry wasn't really known around the world just a few decades ago. The country was better known for bikes than cars, and it was hard for local companies to become respected even in their own country. Foreign automakers like Toyota, Volkswagen, and Ford ruled the Chinese roads. Often, they worked with Chinese companies in joint ventures that were required by law. That changed a lot when incomes went up and economic changes happened in the early 2000s. A lot of people bought cars. At the same time, the government started to work on a long-term plan to control the EV market. China chose electric vehicles as a main area for national growth because they have many advantages over internal combustion engines and because lowering pollution and oil imports is a strategic goal. The government used both sticks and carrots, tens of billions of dollars in handouts, huge investments in charging infrastructure, and policies that were good for local players. Cities switched their public buses and taxis to electric vehicles, and owners got big discounts. While people around the world talked about whether or not EVs could work, China was building a national ecosystem. A lot of China's success with EVs is due to entrepreneurs who were brave enough to jump into an industry that wasn't fully developed yet. Cheng Shuang, the founder of BYD, is a great example. BYD started out making batteries, but in 2003 they started making cars too. When Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, put $230 million into BYD in 2008, not many people thought that the company would one day deliver more cars than Tesla. Since then, 15 years later, BYD has made 5 million cars and is a world power. It now has 30% of the market for new energy vehicles in China and is quickly growing in other countries as well. BYD's growth isn't an outlier. It's part of a larger trend caused by a highly linked supply chain. For example, China makes most of the lithium batteries and rare earth materials that are needed to make EVs. This combination of different types of businesses has given Chinese producers power over the cost curve. Experts like John Helvston of George Washington University say that China's huge industry growth is a big reason why the cost of making EVs has dropped so quickly. The price of EVs has gone down, and the business plan can work at prices that most people can afford. People in China reached a psychological tipping point in 2023 when they started buying more cars from Chinese brands than from foreign brands. This change wasn't just about money, it was also about culture. Chinese-made cars used to be looked down upon, but now they're praised for their high-tech features, low prices, and stylish looks. Motion, an energy analytics company, says that China owns more than 60% of the world's EV market. That power is getting bigger quickly. China sent out more than 441,000 EVs in the first quarter of 2025, which is 40% more than the same time last year. Chinese electric vehicles are becoming popular in Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Latin America, and even some parts of Europe. In Thailand, for example, Japanese names are giving way to Chinese ones. But even here at home, foreign power is waning. Stephen Ma, Nissan's China manager, said that his team was shocked when they got back to work after China's COVID-19 lockdowns. He said, "China has changed a lot. I didn't think it would go this quickly. It was even faster than we thought it would be." People in China who buy cars are younger, smarter, and more concerned with value than people in the West. Because of this, car companies are putting more emphasis on digital features, self-driving features, and lifestyle add-ons. Voice control, massage seats that recline, panoramic moonroofs, and big electronic screens are now standard on all cars. Plus, a lot of these options come with even the most basic models. One graduate from Shanghai called this technological equality, which means that people of all income levels can now use innovations that were once only found in high-end cars. That changes what a car can be: a comfy, cheap, and connected tech hub. There is a lot of competition within the country, so businesses are trying to make themselves stand out. The faster charging battery from BYD was quickly surpassed by the more powerful one from CATL. At the same time, technology for driver assistance is changing quickly. However, after a fatal crash involving a Xiaomi vehicle, safety worries have led to stricter rules. Even though Chinese EV makers are the market leaders in their own country, they want to grow internationally, in part to get away from the tough competition at home. Analysts like Tale of Sino Auto Insights say that the Chinese market is too crowded for new companies to enter, so companies need to look for opportunities in other countries. Outside of China, though, car makers face tough competition. Since the US is worried about overcapacity and what it sees as unfair handouts, it has put 100% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. Canada has done the same thing. The EU, on the other hand, has started a probe into subsidies and raised import taxes to up to 45%. Beijing has rejected these claims but made it clear that it is willing to talk about prices. These problems haven't stopped China from wanting to make EVs. Instead, companies are going after countries with fewer rules, like those in the Global South. Some, like VW and Stellantis, are choosing to work together with Chinese companies instead of going it alone to get cheaper tech and learn more about electric vehicles. In the case of XPeng, VW put $700 million into it, and GM's Buick brand is working with Chinese battery and software companies. Toyota has joined forces with BYD to work on electric vehicles. These partnerships show a new truth. China is no longer just a foe, but also an important partner. The rising popularity of Chinese electric vehicles, EVs, is more than just a business win. It's also a change in global politics. The global EV market is becoming a stage for soft power as the US and China's economies move away from being tied together. Beijing now promotes its electric vehicle, EV business, as an example of being environmentally friendly and technologically advanced. Moments on social media, like American influencer iShowSpeed, being amazed by a BYD car that dances and goes through rivers, are used to show how modern China is and attract younger people around the world. The story is sticking. Chinese electric vehicles are seen as new, stylish, and smart, which were once traits of Western luxury brands. But this rise around the world comes at a tense time in world politics. The trade war that former President Trump started and that he is continuing to support in his current campaign could further cut the US off from the global EV change. Since tariffs on Chinese cars and parts are going up, American companies like Ford can't send as much to China. Meanwhile, companies like Pony.ai, are making plans for what might happen if the US limits important technologies like chips. Don't miss out on the future of automotive innovation. Subscribe now and stay updated on the latest trends shaping the world of electric vehicles.